In
Yes.
conversation with Monique Dawson. Monique Dawson has an MBA from Keller Graduate School of Management with a minor in Human Resource Management and Public Administration. A graduate of Joseph Business School, the School of Ministry, Monique has demonstrated an unparalleled commitment and dedication to serving and helping others. One of our way of serving others is helping those in need by way of mission to other countries and our local community. She continues to use her gift in writing this drama novel, OTT. This drama novel is made up based on inspired real life situations that a reader can relate to. Monique Dawson is sincere, dedicated, and compassionate. Our goal is to use our skill of creating writing to help those in need of healing and inspiration. And on today's episode of Auto Interview, it's my utmost pleasure, joy, and excitement to have on the show today, Monique Dawson. Welcome on the show, Monique.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for welcoming in.
Yeah, it's my pleasure as well. I mean, it's quite exciting we are here to talk about your book. I love your smile and I love your glasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, Monique, I want to first say that I found the description page of your book, Over the Top, Not Giving Up, on Amazon to be quite interesting. And I'd like you to tell us about the making of it. How does this book come about? What inspired you to write Over the Top?
Well, I've always been a creative writer. My teachers always told me when I was younger that I
Mm.
had very interesting stories.
Wow.
And as I got older, I decided at some point I wanted to write a book or just do more writing. I
Mm.
have writing content that I have, stored away. But in 2009, I was really inspired to write a book. I had, those that, came up to me. They, had inspirational words and told me that I'll be writing a book, that I needed to write a book. And so now, when I had time to actually sit down and do it, outside of my family,
Mm.
I went on and wrote it. So during the pandemic of 2022, I just sat down and said, okay, this is the time to write my book. And just having many challenges in life and also overcoming obstacles in my life, I wanted to put it in a book. And that was my avenue of expressing myself, just going through
Wow.
many challenges and being able to connect with others and talking to them about my challenges. They said, oh, you should write a book. So I did that. And then having a twin sister, and that's a unique thing to have
Yeah.
a twin. So we grew up in the same household, dealing with those same challenges as well. So I decided to write a novel.
That's
Yes.
interesting, really. I mean, I love your description of that. And I love hearing how the book came to be. Thank you so much for your short snippet and the story background into the making of the book. Thank you so much for sharing. And
Thank
just in
you.
case you have the copy of the book, I'd like you to show to the camera before I proceed
Yes.
to my next question. Beautiful
Mhm.
cover you've got in there. Would you like to talk about the making of the cover?
So it was just, this is like a silhouette of me, and then just, what I see beyond, my challenges and obstacles. So I decided just to kind of just go with this color scheme because red is actually my favorite color, and then of
Yeah.
course you have the blue skies. So this is a silhouette of me, and then just, put my eyes in the background to kind of just as an overlay to say, okay,
Uh,
do you see me? I'm over the top.
yeah,
I'm
I
never
can
giving
see.
up.
It's a bit
Yeah,
fadey, the eye as well.
you
I
see
can
that?
see. Yeah, it looks like a face and also looks like a sky, a cloud cover. It's
Yes,
an
yes.
amazing
So,
concept.
yep. So
Yeah.
that's me, the silhouette, and then my eyes and say, okay, here I am,
Hmm,
over the top. Can you see to what I'm speaking about or writing
amazing.
about? Yes.
That's a
Mhm.
beautiful graphic design. Quite
Thank you.
illustrative and very great. Thank you.
So
And
it's
now,
sort of like a vision that I had. And it's like,
mm,
oh wow, let me see if I can put this on paper. And it came out really, really well.
wow,
Thank you.
wow. That's great to know. Thank you for sharing. And now, for
Mhm.
the sake of readers who haven't read the book yet, and without giving much information away, could we have a sneak of what we had expect in terms of themes and subject lines picking up over the top?
As a nonfiction book, the readers will expect to read, it's about twin sisters that had similar challenges in the house while the whole time in the house, but took their lives in a different direction. So you have two twin sisters that grew up in the same household, but their lives took a different turn. They went in different directions. So
Mm.
the reason why I chose Over the Top because the challenges that the characters face and showing that no matter what you go through, you can still make it through your challenges. You can still
Yeah.
overcome different circumstances, at the toughest time, and not only make it through tough circumstances, but achieve far more in life than expected and be over the top and also never giving up no matter what challenges come your way, no matter what childhood circumstances that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
You can overcome those things. And no matter what cards you were dealt in life,
Mm.
you can overcome those obstacles as long as you don't give up.
Absolutely. I love your take on that. I love the inspiration imbibing it. I love the words of hope imbibing it as well. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Okay.
And Monique, one of the most interesting things to me as a writer is to listen to readers' feedbacks. And you may want to agree with me. One of the things that makes literature to be complex is the fact that it can be interpreted in different ways by different readers based on their opinions. And sometimes the readers might get the message intended by the author. Sometimes they might be close to getting the message. Sometimes they might be far from getting the message, say several miles away, several kilometers away. And sometimes they might hilariously misunderstand the message and interpret the book upside down. And as interestingly fun as it sounds, I would like to ask you, how do you feel when readers interpret your works differently than you intended? How does that make you feel?
Open to whatever interpretation that they receive.
Mm,
Different interpretations are great because different people see things in different ways, and those ways could be ways that I did not even interpret myself.
well,
Um,
yeah.
there is a learning experience in every interpretation. So I like people to interpret the book in their own way. However, I still want them to get the overall meaning of what the book is supposed to relay. So whatever they get out of the book, that's fine. So there might be a situation in the book that will help them in a different way that it helped me. So they might relate the book to or different text to a situation that they had in their life
Mm,
and turn that text around to help them in a better way or help them interpret what they went through. So,
yeah.
some people may go through a situation and don't understand why they went through that or
Mm,
how they went through it and why. So it's the
yeah.
hows, the whys, and if this and if that. So they might read something in my book to actually interpret why they went through what they went through.
Yeah.
So, if they get something out of that, that will be great. No matter how
Absolutely.
they read the book.
Wow, I love your take on that. Sounds quite amazing to me. I'm taking some notes in here that I'd love to go back to afterward because I think it's a very nice thing to do. And that's one of the things that make literature conversation to be quite amazing. How people can come together and say we have about 10 people in a room reviewing one single book, and the way the first reader would interpret the book will differ slightly to the way the second person would interpret it, and will differ slightly to the way the third person would interpret it. And I come to think that we all interpret works based on how we can resonate with it, how we can interpret it from our place of experience, how we can interpret it from our own understanding. And sometimes all of this interpretation differs from person to person, from readers to readers, and from experience to experience. So thank you so much for sharing. I love your take on that.
And I was always told that if when you go through something, it's someone way across the other side of the world that's going through similar situation.
Yeah.
So in order for us to help someone else, we have to go through situations. I'm not saying drastic situations, right? Things that are not in our control.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we grow up, things are out of our control as young people, right? So,
Absolutely.
but no matter what we go through in life, no matter if it started from our childhood, at some point in our life, we should be able to help someone else.
Yeah.
And this is why I wrote the book, to help
Yeah.
someone else.
Absolutely. I love your take on that. Thank you so much for sharing. And now I want you to talk a bit about what readers would benefit from reading the book. Why do you think readers should read Over the Top? And could you tell us some of the things they would benefit from reading the book?
Yes, so obviously it's a unique, different book that gives the author perspective of dealing with challenges.
Mm,
It is also a book that will bring light to a situation on how to overcome challenges, and how the author was able to overcome, the challenges in her life. And it will be it's interesting to see how the twins' upbringing was the
mm,
same, but their lives became so vastly different in time as time goes on,
mm,
right? So they both start to have their own family. When they start to have their own family, and the challenges that they go through as well, and how they dealt with their family life based on their experiences growing up in an abusive household, or a household that was lacked a father figure. So that's what they would see in the book. That there was a lot of challenges, and you know, growing up in their childhood, you would see a variety of abusive situations, and
mm.
then just not having the father figure. There was a man in a home, but he wasn't a father figure.
Mm,
And then the biological father moved on at some point. He was killed in a car accident, and then you will
mm.
also see that one of the siblings, when it came to another traumatic situation, one of the other siblings, she
Wow.
had two other siblings besides the twin. She was in a major car accident that where she almost died as well.
Wow. I love your
Yes.
take on that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'd
Yeah.
like us a bit to talk about inspirations and ideas, because I particularly have always been surprised and fascinated by our authors, especially novelists like yourself, would sit down and craft long sentences in a way that sentence make paragraph, and
Mhm.
paragraph make pages, and pages make chapters, and chapters coming together to make an amazing novel. And this always leaves me thinking, how exactly did they got the ideas to craft these long sentences in a way that it grows from sentence to paragraph to pages to chapters to novels, and they do it transitioning in a beautiful manner that nothing is left out or left aside. And now, as far as writing is concerned, I'd like to ask you too, Monique, how exactly do you get the inspirations and ideas to write your books? Where did they come from? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, my inspiration comes through just all my experiences that I
Mm,
overcame, and I never gave up in that whatever that challenge was. 90% of the book is true. There
wow.
are some additions to the book, but it's all from the experiences
Mm,
that I've had to experience, and so the characters are different, but the
mm,
book is based on real life situations.
wow.
Someone's situation have some situations have been altered to create a nonfiction
Mm,
novel. So my inspiration is really just looking back on and just remembering all the things that I've had to challenge, good situations also, and bad situations, and I just grabbed a piece of paper and I just
Yeah.
started writing. And some of it was typing it up. So just typing it, and as I remember, just type it,
Yeah.
and it formed into paragraphs, and then just going back and checking, your sentences, and just keep on writing. I just kept
Mm.
on writing, and then the paragraphs turned into chapters,
Wow.
and then just naming my chapters based on you know the content of the writing.
Wow.
And eventually, I came to the finish line of just finishing with something really, really good.
Wow.
Chapter
Interesting.
with positivity.
That's impressive. I love your take on that. It's quite amazing, very lovely, and quite great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And now, before we wrap up for today, is there anything that you love to share with the viewers about your books that we did not mention in this interview and you'd love the viewers to know? Also, what sort of advice do you have for struggling writers?
The only challenges that I had
Yeah,
in making the book is just making people more aware that
you've written a book.
the book is out there. It
Yeah.
is on Amazon. So that was some of my challenges of just get people to know that the book is out there.
Mm.
Like for example, this interview is definitely helping me.
Yeah.
Um, and another thing is that that I feel that people need to be aware um, that childhood trauma is a huge issue
Mm.
that can lead to abuse. It can lead to physical, mental, drug, alcohol abuse. That
Mm.
can be a huge issue in people's lives, and those around them as well are affected by, abuse, whatever the abuse may be. And it's a hard thing to overcome, but you can overcome it you can overcome it along with the addictions. And all you have to do is just get help. And you're not alone. And many people experience these things, but it's just really reaching out and getting the help that you need to overcome those abuse that really originate from childhood traumas. That's
Wow.
what the sort of stuff. Mm-hmm.
That's really a lot. And I like the fact that you mentioned, I love the fact that you mentioned that and to let us know. Very important. Such a crucial topic we shouldn't take with levity.
And just getting the book out there so people can understand the challenges. The reason why I did a novel is because I wanted people to be more engaged
Mm.
in the story, the
Yeah.
storylines of each different chapter.
Mm.
So that they can be able to hopefully relate to
Yeah.
the story. And so that's the reason why I wanted to be able to express myself in the book. That was my avenue. And then hopefully help someone else. And in the meantime, I'm creating more content. I'm coming out with more books. And
Yeah.
also, I'm launching my podcast.
Thank you so much for sharing.
And my podcast will be talking about real life situations.
Yeah,
Yes, real
absolutely.
life situations that everyone can relate to.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And just in case we have some viewers who are currently watching this interview and would love to get a copy of the book, on what platform is it available on for purchase?
Yes, it is on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon. You can get the book internationally on Amazon as well.
Mm.
Barnes and Noble, Google Books, Walmart.
Mm.
You can go to Walmart and get the book online. iBooks, um, and Book Baby,
Wow.
Lulu,
Yeah.
Draft Digital,
Mm.
Raccoon Team Kubu,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark.
Interesting.
And I think I mentioned iBooks.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you can get your book.
Good
Yeah,
one.
that's right.
Yeah, beautiful cover.
Over
Thank you
the
so
top.
much for sharing it again,
Never
the
giving up.
cover.
Thank
And I
you.
left a link in the description part of this interview where interested viewers can get a copy of Monique Dawson book directly on Amazon and Barnes& and Nobles, on our website, on Kobo, and the other website mentioned. I also left link to our social media pages for possible followings. So thank you so much, Monique, for accepting the invitation to be featured on P English Literature. And also, this is more than awesome. Very great, quite exciting. Having a conversation with you around the beautiful title, Over the Top. Thank you for coming on.
And also one more thing, my website is
Yeah,
moniquedawsonnetwork.com. The spelling of my name, network.com. You can go to that page. You can also see the book. You can click on the link. It'll lead you to Amazon, and you can read other content and inspirational content that I have on my website.
yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I did that.